Village President Mansell. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda, July 1, 2006 agenda and June 3rd, 2006 minutes. Second by Hess. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. The public comment, I'm gonna hold off. I know a few of you want to speak on the agenda item, I believe.
Who's here?
So when we get to that agenda item, I'll give you an opportunity to speak and we'll hear your voices, okay? Thank you. Thank you for coming. Chairman comments. I just have to say that everything seems to be running pretty well with Public Works, and thank you, Ben, for keeping it rolling. With that, number 6, Department of Public Works report. Ben, would you please give that?
Yep. So I'll keep things moving here today. In your packet is a summer schedule. Everything is on schedule. Crack filling is going to happen. Looks like after the 4th, the company just called. Chip seal is going to be at end of the month. Catch basin rebuilding is going to be starting after the 4th, and alleyway repaving will be done later in July. So everything is on schedule. They're working on the street project behind it on 2nd Street. Things are coming along. Hoping to be a little farther along. The pipe's all on the ground. We're just going to be waiting on concrete to move forward with the weather and things how it's been with the rainy weather. So other than that, I don't have any further comments at this time.
Okay. Any trustees have anything for Ben?
One quick question, the catch basin, where is that?
There's one by the railroad tracks on for Bunker, 25 feet west of Bunker railroad tracks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Trustee Zerflu, anything for Ben?
Nothing.
Okay, with that, we'll go to item number 7 to discuss. Letter received from the Clearwater HOA. And we have a few people that would like to speak. Sir, who would like to speak? Raise your hand. Okay, your name, sir? I don't think I got
Manner.
Okay, Jeff. Bonracki, nice to meet you. Thank you.
We sent a letter, Joanne actually did, with the board members from the Clearwater Bay HOA over on Outdoor Drive. Part of it, our cul-de-sac and our HOA involves Fort Edwards, and which is kayak trail, and the part of the Clearwater Trail at the very end in the cul-de-sac. The rest of it is part of Saratoga. We've been in existence since 2019. Our HOA has been in charge of our HOA. We have our own board members. We maintain, pay all our own bills and do everything ourselves. It's one of the 2 out of the 7 or 8 HOAs in the Pavlovsky development. We have maintained our roads. Ben has been involved. I talked with him before on that. And we're asking the Port Edwards and Saratoga, we met with them 2 weeks ago, I believe, to actually take over the maintenance and of the roads. We maintain them. Our roads all meet the 66 feet of right of way from state aid standpoint. They have 4 to 6 inches of base underneath them. They have 2 inches of blacktop currently, and I know Saratoga would like to see them at 3 inches, and we even went forward to say we would put the additional 1.5 inches of blacktop reinforced blacktop on to bring them up to over the 3 inches of blacktop that they would recommend. There are 22 feet, most of the South Shore Drive areas, Rising Sun Trail is. The other ones, Clearwater Trail that I live on, and part of the kayak trail, those are like 21 to 21.6, so close to the 22 feet that Saratoga has asked in the past to have. The only one issue is the cul-de-sacs are 70 feet in diameter. Saratoga was like 100 feet, but when we measured Saratoga's, measured 10 different cul-de-sacs, some that are newer and some that have been repaved lately, and those are anywhere from 60 to 85 feet. They only have one that's over 100 feet that supposedly is their spec. So not even when they repave them do they bring them up to spec. And even the roads that they're putting in now, the new roads, there's 2 or 3 miles they're gonna put in this next year. They're only putting 2 inches blacktop on instead of 3 that their spec calls for. So not sure if it's a spec or a recommendation. So anyway, so that's what we're asking for, is to take over the maintenance of them. We feel our roads are in good shape. We've maintained them, backfill them every year. And we are willing to put on the additional 1.5 inches of blacktop for the road, the village and the Saratoga Township to pay. I think Betsy and Ben both received a letter that was sent out a few weeks ago.
And I did attach it to the packet. The board members
Yeah,
have read
that's what
that.
we're asking for, and we're here to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I did read the letter. I actually had an opportunity to go out there today with Ben. Look over your cul-de-sac and look at over all the Knuckle Lake roads. I did see that, you know, where Saratoga had chip sealed here in the past. And then the private roads and,
And even if, I mean, if they wanted the chip seal, we would even put a double chip seal instead of the insurance blacktop, but either way.
yeah, we did have an opportunity and, I guess we will discuss it here. And if we have any questions, we can always go off table and ask, questions. Does anybody else, would they like to speak? Anybody else? Oh,
So one quick, like Jeff and I reached Saratoga and we're in contact, so about some of the utilities in the road. You guys, can you kind of
Yes,
just. Come on.
we have 2 septic systems. Each one is for roughly 14 lots. So 1 through actually 14 go to the one septic field out by Northwoods Trail, and 17 through 27 and go to the other one. They do have the valve shutoffs or flush valves in the middle of the road. They're all in concrete and housed. We had talked about, they had talked about having them moved. So we met with Steve's Plumbing to say that is something you would do. They're suggesting it would not to move them until we ever had an issue. They're all brass valves, Minnesota, whatever brass valves. They feel they should last 30 to 50 years without any issues. They're 6 or 6.5 feet down below. And so if in fact we ever did have an issue with the valves, we would then move them and take them to the side of the road, because they would never just cut back into them. They said they would actually just bore a new line right straight to the second field at that time. There was some concern of the covers possibly, you know, coming up and damaging the plows, whatever. We're even willing to tack weld them shut if we have to, so they will not come off. If that's what we require, but we don't feel it's a good use of money to actually move them. Spend it, I don't know how much, $10,000-$15,000, whatever it costs to move each one of them now, when there hasn't been no issues. Brad Torque has been following them for 12 years, and we've never had an issue with them. They're seated on, they're good, and when we put the other blacktop, those will all be tapered down so that there's not going to be a big bump or anything either. So, but we understand as a cul-de-sac HOA, we do own those and we own the septic fields. So if there's ever an issue, whatever, it would be at our expense to take care of them.
Okay.
Yeah, we understand.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Ben, I mean, I don't know if anybody's got a chance to go out there, but it's kind of an odd thing. And I think Ben showed us in a photo is how Saratoga and the line, there's just a portion of it that's actually into the village. Maybe you want to clarify that for everyone?
So on the map, and I think Jeff did, I mean, it's a weird piece. I mean, it goes, you know, half of the cul-de-sac is in Saratoga, half of it's in the village. You know, as even kayak trail, the first, Jeff knows the numbers, first 50 feet or something is in Saratoga, and then the kayak trail starts there and goes to the end, 100 some feet to the cul-de-sac at the end. You know, in the packet, I attach our cul-de-sac ordinances, and I think, you know, they're definitely way tighter than what we're accustomed, you know, in our village, road designs and things like that. And I know Jeff did hit on that or whatever, so I didn't want to put a bunch in your packet. There's other questions for the future meetings I could add, but obviously this packet just have the picture, and I just had the cul-de-sac ordinances, and I did send those over to the HOA. I think they did get all our a packet you guys got, right, on our different ordinances and things like that. So I mean, we've been transparent back and forth with sharing them documents.
Any discussion?
You don't have anything there, no?
You know, I understand where you're at with the road. And like I said, I wanted to go out there and actually see what was going on, and it was eye-opening, because on one side is Saratoga with the different letters and the numbers and the colors and whatnot. A couple things that we would have to address here as a board is one thing, you know, they are private roads. And if we open the can of worm of doing that for one HOA, then we have to look at it for every private road, not just over on Nepco Lakeside, but here also on the village, because we still have some private roads here in the village where people maintain their own private road.
I think the one thing is though that our roads, and I'm not sure about all other private roads, we do meet the state specifications for the 66 feet of right of way and road widths. Just
Right, and I did notice that, the cul-de-sacs were
They're
combined. They were tight, but you know, and I understand there's not a lot of room there either, so.
yeah, and there's not really traffic down anywhere. The garbage trucks come down, they actually back into our quiet water trail and turn around. They don't even use the cul-de-sac to turn around either, because it's further for them to go. They just back up to the road and make a wide turn,
Right.
be less to plow. Maintain.
So, you know, I don't know, like I said, I know that they are private roads. I understand your situation where you folks are coming from. Have you heard any correspondence from Saratoga? Is what's,
They're actually, we went to their town board meeting 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they're actually having a meeting, I think, next week, or actually June
July,
20th or something. The third Wednesday of the month is their next board meeting, so we're going to discuss it further.
okay,
And I understand that there's, you know, other private roads in the Pavlovsky development. But there are several of those that do not meet the 66 feet of right of way, do not meet, even have cul-de-sacs, or anything. And my feeling is these roads meet that. If they wanted to bring their roads all up to the ordinances of 66 feet of right of way and everything else, well, then they would have something to present to you, but you know, ours already meet that. So I think that's one thing that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Situation.
definitely.
You can apply for state aid.
Yeah, I don't know what portion of that, how much state aid we would receive. And that's something that I think we need to look into, is what would we receive to help maintain that road if it's all to specs? And I guess, Ben, I don't know if you'd know that number, and
I can get that number from the state. If basically take a measurement off the road, they can give me those rough estimated numbers. I can bring back to you guys.
okay. Well, I guess I would like to look into this further. I think that for one, we'd have to look at what type of state aid that we would get. The only other problem that I have, I understand that your roads are 66, they meet the specifications. But if we open that can of worms again, do we start taking on a lot of private roads that are private? Okay, and I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not gonna.
Understand.
But I definitely, as chair of this committee, will look at how much money that we could receive in state aid and look at the long-term maintenance of our portion of road. And we'll get those numbers together. And I also would like to see what Saratoga, I mean, the majority of the road is in Saratoga. And so, you know, it was, like I said, when I went out there, I was surprised in how it cut through. But I guess what we'll do is we'll kind of table this to get a number on what type of state aid that we would receive if we would take over a cul-de-sac or even a private road. And I'm not you know, I mean, there's a lot of different private roads, and I know that we've had this discussion in the past. And I know that the HOAs over there, it's pretty clear that they're private and they have to be maintained by the HOAs and taken care of. So we haven't had, you know, we've had some discussion on it. And your situation's a little different because if they meet the code, but I guess, I think that has to be a whole board decision. And we have to look at what expense that we would have to have somebody maintain it and what type of state aid we get back. So we'll definitely look into it.
My thing is, we're not asking for anything more than you guys are getting already. I mean, we're paying our taxes. We're really getting nothing for that. You're all taxpayers here at Port Evans, I'm assuming.
And I
How would
understand,
you feel?
but we've had that discussion too in the past, you know, and again, I don't want to get off the subject and it's really, we have to stay on the agenda item. And there's something that we could probably talk about at a further meeting. I don't know if it belongs in Public Works. I think that might belong in FHR if you have concerns about, you know, the tax dollar and the ratio. But, you know, I'm just concerned about possibility of looking at taking over a private road. So what we will do is we'll get some numbers together on what we get for state aid. We'll get some numbers together on what it would cost to maintain the road and get some answers back for our whole committee to decide if it should go any further. But thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it. Anybody else have anything?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay, any old business,
Nope, this was last month.
new business? I guess that's in parks, so I'll leave that alone. Correspondence received. Any other correspondence received? No.
Just this letter, that's all I got.
Committee members' comments. Trustee Zerflu,
Nothing.
trustee Hess,
Nope. Oh, thank you.
agenda for next meeting. I don't even know when the next one, that's gonna be, when will that be?
So we will follow the August 5th, Wednesday, August 5th.
Wednesday, August 5th at 4:30.
Sure.
I guess just an update on the roads and maybe if you, any updates on, old businesses, what we could get for state aid if we ever take over a private. Yeah,
I think they gotta be pretty much my understanding from these questions. Last couple of years that state needs the roads that meet their specifications.
we can actually, we'll just take a look at it and make sure, so, but yeah. Any other discussion or any other comments?
No.
With that, I will adjourn the meeting at 5:05 PM.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've talked.